All right, sorry guys. I'll try to make up some time. I don't know what was going on my big computer that I couldn't hear. That's so weird. But anyway, so I think most everybody on here knows me, but for those of you that are new, my name is Brittany. I'm a triple diamond on the team, and I've been in the business for exactly 2 years this month. And I'm so excited to just share some things with you guys tonight on social media and then just ways to bring in volume and really end the month strong. Um, and then just also, we're going to talk a little bit about mindset at the end. So the first few things that I really wanted to hit on is just how at the end of the month, like you're up for a promotion, but you're looking at your chart, you still, see that you need, 3,000 BV left, 300 BV, different things for different ranks. And you're telling yourself that, that's just so much for the last 5 days of the month. And I want you to know it's absolutely not. Like, this is when the magic happens. It's that last week of the month. And I've seen so many people bring in just loads and loads of volume that last few days of the month. So you just have to just be so concentrated and just just have your mindset completely right that you know that you're going to have this promotion one way or the other, and then do the things that you know to do. Sorry guys, I'm turning this off because it's distracting me. Okay, so the number one thing that I've been doing to bring in high BV customers is sharing before and afters of the keto coffee. Now I've been doing something that, I don't know if she's on here right now, but a diamond on my team, Jordan, most of you I think know her. She has been doing this ever since Amber Parker suggested it. And I had to ask her what she was doing, like what she was saying, because I just kept seeing her blow up eSuite with 60 BV, 60 BV, 60 BV. And I would look and it would be 2 bags of coffee every single time. And I'm like, what are you saying? Like, how are you always selling 2 bags of coffee? And she basically just completely stopped when people reached out to her about coffee, selling it as 1 bag. She just sells it as 2 bags, but she doesn't say it's 2 bags. She just says a month's supply of the keto coffee retails for $130, but is only $78 for one of my discount spots. So they don't even know they're getting 2 bags. They just know they're getting a month's supply, which is what 2 bags is. And then whenever they order, she's putting their order in for 2 bags. So ever since she shared this with our team, in a chat we have going last month or the month before, it was 2 months ago, we have all started doing this. And guys, it's been so huge. Last month, I actually had like a lower customer month for myself than usual. I had to think like 12 or 13 customers, and I normally shoot to get more like 20 or 30. But every single customer was like 90 BV or higher, and it was because it was 2 bags of coffee and then chocolate greens every single time. So what my strategy has been doing to be bringing in these high BV orders is I'm searching Facebook for keto coffee results. So for those of you that are new and don't know how to search Facebook, you pull up your Facebook and you go to the search bar at the top, like just like you were searching someone's Facebook, like you're searching me, you're trying to find my Facebook, Brittany Hayes. Well, you would go and you would type in keto coffee results, and you would search Facebook and just search all the public posts. And then boom, you're going to have all these keto coffee results people have shared from their customers. Any public post, you're going to be able to have access to see the name of the person that used it, the time frame, all the details. So what I do during my power hours, I go through and I just save. I just save as many pictures as I can find. And I make sure I screenshot, after I save the picture, I screenshot the details. So that way, when I'm ready to post it, I can not only retrieve the picture from my camera roll, but I have all the details ready to go to. And guys, this has been so huge because most of the pictures I stumble upon aren't just keto coffee results, even though that's what I'm searching. They're keto coffee plus greens results. So boom, perfect. When someone messages me, I'm set up for a 90 BV order. And I don't even tell them we have different kinds of greens. I keep it super simple. I sell everybody on keto coffee, chocolate greens. So I encourage you, like if you're looking at your chart and you've got like, all these different spots and you need, 100 over here, 60 over here, whatever, start really trying to go after those high BV orders and start tonight by searching some good before and afters. I think one of the things that we fall into is being so focused on making our social media page look pretty, which it absolutely should be, that we forget to get back to basics and share what the products can do for people. And plain and simple, that comes from before and afters, you guys. When you show people before and afters day after day after day, even if they're not reaching out right away, they are going to reach out eventually, and they're going to want to get their hands on this. They're going to eventually, there's going to come a day where they see enough results that they're like, all right, give me some of that. And so that is what I have been doing with the keto coffee and the greens. I am literally just flooding my social media with that. Now, a couple tips. So I have my Facebook public, my Instagram private. There's no one right way, or you know, it's not like you have to have it that way, but I'm telling you that to say, whenever I share my before and afters on Facebook, I do make them to friends only. And then I delete them 24 hours later. So, and then actually right now I have noticed past couple of days that with the algorithm being a little bit different on Facebook lately, I've been leaving them up a little bit longer on Facebook, but still 24 hours on Instagram. So like the next morning I wake up and I delete any before and afters from the day before on Instagram, but I'm leaving it on Facebook till probably like the next night, if that makes sense, maybe like 36 hours or so. But anyway, so if you have not been sharing before and afters, get on there tonight, save some pictures, and really go after those high BV orders. I'm happy to share my wording in the comment thread on Freedom Legacy later, what I've been sending that I got from Jordan. But it's basically, for those of you that have already read my wording in the files of Freedom Legacy that says like loyal customer pricing wording, it's basically the exact same thing as that. It's just representing the coffee as a month supply, which is 2 bags, without actually saying 2 bags. But if anyone has any questions on that, just let me know. And then if it's greens too, I just add on the little blurb about the greens at the end too. Okay, so that was the number one thing I wanted to share, was just really getting back to basics, showing what the products can do, and then making sure that when you're posting these before and afters, they're super catchy and very urgent sounding. So like, don't put too much info, put just enough to get them intrigued. I like to use words like fat burning coffee, skinny coffee. I've been calling the chocolate greens and coffee combo, I've been calling it the dynamic duo. I'll say like, oh my gosh, look at my girl's 8-week results from fat burning coffee and greens. I'm so in love of what this dynamic duo is doing for so many of my friends. Just little catchy things that are going to get people's attention. Like what is that? So just get creative and just make it catchy. And then at the very end, I say, I just found out, or I was able to get my hands on, or something like that, like 3 additional discount spots or 5 discount codes or whatever. And then I say, message me or drop a coffee emoji. So I do the little coffee emoji for info to be sent to you. And guys, I didn't used to do this. I didn't used to say like drop an emoji, but I've been doing that for the past like 2 or 3 months. And it's been huge because so many people are dropping emojis. It's like, you know, if they're too lazy to message you, you know, dropping an emoji is so simple. So I encourage you, if you've never tried that out, try that out, because it's been working really, really well for me, like getting in, just drawing in that interest. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is when you're like trying to show what our products can do, in addition to before and afters, put your face out there with the products. So it's really easy to just, you know, pick up like, you know, a packet of Wow or a box of greens and just hold it out and take a picture of it. But that's not going to get you customers. So share what the products can do before and afters, and then put your face there. Because even though, yeah, I could take a selfie with Wow, that doesn't tell anybody what it does. But if I take a selfie with Wow and I talk about how I use it as a primer before my makeup and it makes my skin look like it's airbrushed, like now that's going to get people's attention. You see what I'm saying? So just really get creative, like the products that you love, post about them and make them super personal, and then share before and afters. The combo of the two, you're going to be golden. People are going to know that you're using the products, and they're going to see your results, but then they're also going to see all these incredible results that you're sharing from other people. I wanted to say real quick too, anyone that is new, like brand new, and you're like, I know I get asked this a lot by my newbies. You can share, you know, any of the before and afters we have in the team pages. So you can search like in Freedom Legacy, Cleanse, Keto Coffee, just, you know, if you type that in, you're going to be able to see any before and afters any of us on the team have shared, and you can, you know, use any of those. Just make sure you pay attention to the details, like the person's name, the time frame, but you know, anything that we have in the team pages, you're always welcome to use. And then, like I said, now that I've pretty much used everything on the team page, I'm also branching off and searching Facebook and getting some more pictures on my hands. But I did just want to say that for people that are new. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to say for those of you that are really like, you're looking at your promotion and you're like, okay, how can I bring in volume? So post religiously these next couple of days, like flood your Facebook with before and afters like we talked about. But the second thing is check in with your old loyal customers. So even if they haven't ordered in, you know, a couple months, or even if you've been in the business a while and it's been 5-6 months, check in with them and just say, hey girl, I wanted to, you know, check in with you, see how you're doing. I don't know if you realize this, but I wanted to let you know you have that 40% off discount locked in for life. Or sometimes I'll even say you've got it grandfathered into your account for life. Just something simple like that. I don't know if you see me post about our new incredible fat burning coffee, but girl, it is flying off the shelves, and I'd love to help you get a one-time order in for some to try. And then boom, you know, they're instantly going to be intrigued. If they haven't ordered in a while and they didn't even know we had keto coffee, now you've piqued their interest, and that can be an additional volume booster. Even if it's not an auto shipment, it's not a new customer, that's still great. So don't neglect your old customers, you know, being so focused on getting new. Try to really make sure you balance both. Throw the posts out there, you know, do your follow-ups, do your messaging, and then check in with those old people too. Okay, so if anyone has any questions about anything I'm saying, by the way, feel free to type it in the comments. I know I'm going fast. I'm trying to make up for the time in the beginning of my computer issues. So if you have any questions about what I'm saying, just feel free to comment it, and I will check in on those in a second. But what I really wanted to talk about on the second part of this Zoom is going back to, you know, looking at your promotion. And I know it's so easy on the 25th to see where you're at and then to be like, oh, I don't know if it's going to happen. And here's some things that just really stood out to me and spoke to me on this sermon that I was listening to yesterday morning that I wanted to share with you guys. So it was from, I listened to two, it was from Stephen Furtick and TD Jakes. And I just thought it was so applicable to all of us in our business and just keeping our mind, you know, set on the prize. He said, I'm going to start with Stephen Furtick. He said, if you would do what you knew to do, you would grow. Don't let what you don't know keep you from sowing. And I thought this was so powerful, you guys, because how many of us, when we really sit down, we know what we need to do, but it's easy to get in our own head and tell ourselves oh, well, I'm just so far away. I don't know, maybe next month. But I just thought that was so simple, yet so profound. If you would do what you knew to do, you would grow. And don't let what you don't know keep you from sowing. So even if you feel okay, I'm not as good as such and such, you know, I'm not as good as her over here, that's okay. Do what you know to do, and you'll always have, you know, if you're always sowing seeds and doing what you know to do, you'll always grow. You'll always have the harvest to reap. And the other thing that he said is, he said, the devil will try to get you to abandon your assignment by convincing you that it's not significant. So he'll convince you you're just not doing great. He'll be like, you know what, this isn't really a big deal. You're not making any progress. You're not doing great. And that's how he sabotages your calling and sabotages your assignment. And so I really want to encourage you, if you're, you know, feeling stuck and you're like, oh my gosh, I have so much, get your mindset renewed and refocused, and remember why you started, and remember how much progress you've made before, and you can make all that again. I want you to think of it like this. Let's say the highest amount of customers you've ever signed in a month was 10. Maybe they were spread out all throughout the month. Okay, they don't have to be spread out though. Why can't you get 10 these next couple of days? You can. If you got 10 last month, you can get, and you feel you haven't made as much progress as you normally have this month, you can still get 10 these next few days. So don't let the time frame, you know, get you hung up. But moving on to the TD Jakes sermon, I watched these back-to-back guys, and I had no clue they were going to align so perfectly. And it was crazy how spot on they were in the transition. But TD Jakes said, God did not promise that your feelings would always line up with the facts. Never make business decisions from an emotional place. And he was saying our feelings are often over here, but what we know we're supposed to be doing is over here. But if we get too hung up on how we feel and being discouraged or whatever, he was you'll literally forfeit your calling, when in reality, your feelings were never meant to line up with the facts. What's going on in life was never meant to always align perfectly with your feelings. And I just thought that was just so applicable to everything that we experience on a, day-to-day basis with business. He said, you have to separate how you feel from what you know, and what you say to yourself will always determine whether you win or lose. So I want you to ask yourself, right now, where are you at in your month with your promotion? And then ask yourself, what have you been saying to yourself? Have you been telling yourself, I have this in the bag. I don't care that I'm still 3,000 BB away. I don't care that I'm still 300 away, whatever. But I have this in the bag. I know God's going to make a way, and I'm going to do everything I know to do it. Is that what you're saying to yourself? Or are you saying to yourself, man, I should have made so much more progress. I still have 2 distributors to sign. What are you saying to yourself? And I want you to know, it's the 26th, you guys. We've got 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We've got 5 more days of the month. I have seen incredible things happen in 5 days in my time in the business. I've literally seen people go from distributor to Ruby in 5 days. I've seen executives pop over a weekend. So don't let what you think still needs to be done stop you from doing what you know to do, because you absolutely can still crush this month. Okay, so one more quote I wanted to share you, and then I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to move on. Promise I'm not just going to read quotes the whole time. Okay, so he said, this was from this morning, from Stephen Furtick. We live in a culture that wants promise without the process, but you can't have promise promise, without first going through the process. If you want the enemy to steal your dreams, just do nothing. Okay, so I know this all kind of just ties in together, and I'm just, to some of you, it probably just sounds like I'm rambling, but there's a point to all this, I promise. So no matter where you're at, and how much headway you still, how much headway you've made and how much you feel like you still have left to do. Like at the end of the day, no matter what happens, like if we do nothing, we're always forfeiting, like forfeiting whatever our goal was. So write down, like if your goal is, for example, Ruby for the month, like write down exactly how much you still have left for Ruby, and like commit to like making as much progress as you can between now and the end of the month, whether you hit it or not. Because if you sit back and you're like, I'm too far away, and you take a step back, like you're counting yourself out. You're automatically like writing off your dreams and giving them to the enemy. So anyways, I know it probably sounds like I'm rambling on about this, but this is just something that I feel like it's just been really weighing on my heart the past few days. And I feel like God's just been speaking to me in several different ways with this. So I just really wanted to share that with you guys. The number one things that I've been doing to make sure that I'm just hitting, is helping as many people on my team promote and just getting as much volume in as I can, is number one, starting off the day, every day, the last few days of the month, with a sermon, and then immediately turning on my audiobook when I go out for a walk. This has been huge, you guys, because it's been getting my mindset completely right, from the first start of the day. And then right after that, I'm moving on to just knocking out a solid power hour of work. And I wanted to kind of just share with you guys like what that power hour looks like. So some of you that are maybe like kind of feeling scattered and feeling like it's hard to stay organized, like I hope this will maybe help some of you. But I've been immediately sitting down and making a product post. So making something catchy, like we talked about, whether, keto coffee, greens, cleanse, whatever, just something that's going to be, I feel like really relevant to my audience right now. Making a product post, putting that out. And then I'm spending about 15 minutes engaging with my newsfeed. And then and I'm going to type this in the comments too, so it's not, because I know I talk fast. And then I am growing my following and adding to my friends list after that. And then the third thing that I'm doing is I'm going through and following up with anyone that I've talked to the last 3 days. So even though I know you hear a lot of us say like follow up Friday, in addition to follow up Friday, like really focus on like who you've spoken to the last couple of days that the conversations have just kind of fallen off. Because you'd be surprised someone that maybe messaged you yesterday or the day before and asked you about a product, and maybe the conversation just kind of just halted, and it's just, they didn't say no, but they just didn't answer your last message. Like you never know if someone just got completely busy, completely sidetracked. So make sure you're not letting anyone fall through the cracks, and you're checking in with everyone. I'm literally just, if I talked to someone a couple of days ago and they didn't say anything, it just, like I said, it just fell off. I'm just messaging them and being like, hey girl, did you have any other questions for me? Or hey girl, did you decide you're ready to go ahead and get that keto coffee ordered? Just something short, sweet, and to the point. And it's so crazy how many of them are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I do want to get that. Let me go ahead and send you my info. So especially those of you that are new, like never get discouraged if the conversation does stop. Like don't tell yourself someone's just not interested. So many times it literally is just a matter of they just got busy. And so just that simple, like checking in with them can literally, be all that you need to close the sale. So that's what I'm doing. I'm checking in with the people that I've spoken to the last 3 days. And then, I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, and then my fourth thing that I've been doing is going through and really engaging with anybody that has been watching my story. So I'm making sure I post to my story, and then I've been going through and making sure I'm engaging with all the people that are watching my story. This is such a huge feature, you guys, because anybody that's been watching your story, like they're watching you. So even if they're not commenting on stuff, liking stuff, they're watching what you're doing. So going through and like intentionally building relationships with those people is going to be so beneficial, not just for the short term, but for the long term in your business as well too. So anyways, that's like the bulk things that I've been making sure I'm getting done every morning, and that's setting up just the rest of my day for success, getting that interaction going, getting those new conversations going, and then getting that product post out first thing in the morning, or not first thing in the morning. It's my second post of the day, but it's like right before lunch. And then that way I have, like new interest coming in, funneling in from that. So anyways, does anybody have any questions about that before I go on? I feel like I'm kind of all over the place tonight. I'm going to type this in the comments real quick too, just before, so you guys have time to copy it. So product post, engagement, grow network, story, engage with story, viewers. And then the last thing is follow-ups. Okay. So there you go. That's kind of what my morning or mid-morning power hour has been consisting of. Okay. And then the last thing I really wanted to share, just tying this in with everything I was talking about mindset before, is that ask yourself, like, where you're at right now, like what you, like, if you really believe, like, whatever your short-term goal and your long-term goal, like, do you really believe that can happen? And then ask yourself, like, if there's any bit of doubt in your mind, like, why that doubt's there, like, what's holding you back? And I wanted to say, I've shared this, on a Zoom I was on with a couple of my leaders the other day, but think of all the people that you see on, on your timeline, other distributors, Claire, me, Katie, Sarah, Alyssa, whoever you've been watching. Like, think of all the people that, you've seen their posts and you've seen them, see success in this business. And then ask yourself, like, what's any different from them and from you? And I want you to know, like, the answer is always nothing. There's nothing different from any of us than there are any of you. Everyone comes from different walks of life. We all have different stories. I know Katie was a full-time hairdresser when she got started. Claire and I were stay-at-home moms. Sarah was a stay-at-home mom, and her husband was gone in the military. So we all have different things that we came from. But I share this with you to say, no matter, like, where you're at in life right now, no matter what challenges you are facing, like, this business can absolutely work for you, and you can absolutely not only crush your promotion this month, but crush, all your goals you have for the year. But you just have to right now decide, like, I'm no different than any of them. I'm no different than any of these incredible stories that I've seen. And, like, I'm going to make this happen. And then literally sit down and write a list of your non-negotiables, start getting really organized with before and afters, and, just product posts that you can flood your newsfeed with, and doing things like growing your network, like I said, all your non-negotiable things that you want to do every day, and commit to doing them and stick to it. I heard a quote a couple weeks ago, and it said, destiny isn't a mystery, it's a decision. And it's just, like, stuck in my head ever since then. I think that's just so, so powerful. And just know that, like, if you decide, like, you're going to do this, then nothing in the world can hold you back. Like, the only thing that can hold you back is you getting in your own head. So wake up every morning, flood your mind with self-development, start doing, your, like I said, your 6 list. And your 6 list doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Find, whatever works for you that's kind of similar to that. But, get those non-negotiables done every day, and then literally just put your all into it. Work like it depends on you. Pray like it depends on God, and then just watch the magic happen from there. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and hop off because I feel like I've just been so rambly tonight. But if anybody has any questions real quick before we go, feel free to write them in the chat and I'll answer them. Oh, and I also wanted to put this in here too, for those of you, Facebook search bar. Okay. So I just put on the in the chat the 2 ways that I've been finding before and afters for anyone that didn't catch that in the beginning. I use the Facebook search bar and then the team pages. Katie, I have been right now listening to High Performance Habits by Brandon Burchard, I think is his last name, and it has been incredible. I just finished Girl Wash Your Face before that, and I loved that one. But yeah, I think you've been listening to that one too. I think I saw you post about it in the team page. But yeah, I've been doing, that was an incredible one, by the way, for anyone that needs just like an all around like life self-development book. I felt like it applied to business, it applied to life. That was Girl Wash Your Face. But the one right now, High Performance Habits, is absolutely incredible. It's like stretching me in so many ways and just really like, just making me like really realize like things I could do better on. Like one of the things, just for example, he said yesterday, he said like, don't check your email first thing in the morning. He was like, that's going to instantly overwhelm you. And it's going to set your mind like not in the best place because you're going to see all these things that you need to respond to, all these people who need you. And he's like, first thing you need to do in the morning is focus on getting your energy high. And he was like, how does your energy get high? Like pouring into yourself and getting out and getting moving. So that's like, that just spoke to me so much because I'm such an organized person. I've always thought like I need to wake up and check my email, get all my emails answered. I don't like answer any messages until self-development, but I do like read them all. And then I look at my emails. And so that just like really like, I never would have thought of that. But ever since he said that, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely changing that. And so this morning was my first morning. That was the chapter I listened to yesterday. And this morning I literally woke up and it was so hard, but I didn't look at my phone at all. And then I just got up, ate breakfast, and then put my earbuds in and went on a walk. And it was incredible how much better I felt. Like something so small, but like not touching my phone until after that like morning walk and that self-development. I mean, I felt better all day from it. So I definitely love that book. And he's like, if you do the audiobook, he's a very energetic person. So it's a really, really good audiobook to listen to. You know, some of them, like their voices are kind of, you can't listen to them. He's not like that. It's a really good audiobook. And then I also just started, which I know I'm behind on this. A lot of you guys are way ahead of me because y'all did it with the Bible study, but I just started listening to the audiobook of Uninvited too, like for my spiritual self-development. By Lisa, I never can say her last name. Let's just call her Lisa T. And I am so in love. I'm only on like chapter 4 and it's so good. So anyone that also missed the Bible study like me, definitely download the audio or get the book of that, because that one's an incredible one too. So yeah, that's my my recommendations, except for those of you that are brand new. I always recommend, if you're brand new in the business and you have no audiobook at all that you're listening to yet, download Rhinoceros Success. When I first started, Claire, Katie, and Sarah, they had a lot of us in this like push page on Freedom Legacy. And I was brand new, and I don't think I had done any self-development other than YouTube trainings. I hadn't actually listened to a book. And that was one of the things they challenged us to listen to, you guys. And it was the first book that I listened to in this business, and it literally changed the game for me. To this day, I've probably listened to that book about 11 or 12 times. It's like a 90-page book, so it's a super fast read. It's only like an hour and a half or something. $4 on iTunes, $4 on Amazon for the audio. So whether you're iPhone or Android, you can listen to it for $4. And it is a book that you literally will want to go back and listen to so many times. So if you're brand new and you need a book, Rhinoceros Success. It's definitely one of my go-tos, one of my favorites. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go, and I will upload the recording once, it finishes converting on my computer. But I love you guys so much. I hope that this was helpful for some of you guys. Sorry for all my technical difficulties when I first got started. I'm gonna have to look at my computer and see what's going on. But I hope everybody has a great night. I hope you guys crush the end of the month. And seriously, just remember, like, write down exactly what you're wanting out of the month and where you want to end. And literally don't even look at the calendar, just make it happen. And I remember one thing I wanted to share real quick. 1 year ago this month, you guys, was when I promoted to Triple Diamond. I promoted on the 30th, and on the 25th, you guys, I was still like 3,000 or 4,000 BV away. I was a lot. And literally in 6 days, like my team made it happen. Like, we ran together, we all buckled down, we worked hard, we were doing power hours every day, and we made it happen. So no matter where you are, like, no matter how much volume you need, I know it's really easy to just think people throw that out loosely, but they don't. The reason you hear people say that is because we've been in that boat. Like, we've literally been in a place where on the 25th we had this much, and then by the 30th it was like down to this much. So absolutely, no matter how much you need, make it happen, make a decision. God always blesses our efforts. So give him your efforts, like give him your all, give him something to bless. And oh my gosh, sorry guys. I really am getting off, but when I said God blesses your efforts, like give him something to bless, I was like, oh my gosh, this was the quote I wanted to end with. I know I said that was my last quote, but it wasn't. This was T.D. Jakes. And I want to leave you guys with this for real. He said, the reason you're still wandering in the wilderness is you haven't given God anything to anoint. The anointing always falls on the head. And when the whole point of the anointing falls on the head is he was talking about, like, it all comes to what's going on up here. And I just thought that was so, so, so good. Like, we can't just wander around in circles and like not have our mindset right and not decide like we're doing this. We're going to do whatever God calls us to do. And we're going to like give him something to bless. Like, we have to actually give him something to bless. So I'm going to read it one more time. The reason you're still wandering in the wilderness is you haven't given God anything to anoint. The anointing falls on the head. So go to sleep on that, and like just literally tonight, just get your mind renewed, reinvigorated, and wake up tomorrow morning just like ready to go. Or, I mean, you start tonight ready to go, but especially tomorrow morning. So anyways, I love you guys. I can't wait to see all the promotion announcements. I know there's going to be so many on our team, and I just can't even wait to cheer you guys on. So have a good night.